Hello and welcome to the CDR. This is the C1 category event here in Bahrain, round 2 of season 2. Takes us to the Bahrain International Circuit in CDR, where we hope to see more of the action that we saw in Spain last week. Can anyone challenge the likes of Mr. Joker and Miceli for the championship over the course of the season? Well, it was Mr. Joker who won last week, with Miceli crossing over the line in second position. On the podium joining them was Grimjaw Jagger. So we expect those three to be challenging for the race victory tonight. As far as I'm concerned with the championship, the point system has changed for this season, with 25 points for the race winner. It's 20 for second, 16 for third, and then right all the way down to 15th place we get 1 point. So instead of 40 points last season, it's 25 this time around. There's still the point for the fastest lap as well, providing you do finish inside the top 10. Well, here we are in Bahrain then. We just wait for some cars to make their way out on the circuit for Q1 to determine who will be the 3 drivers eliminated at the end of the session. We've got a few reserves that have been called in for tonight. We have a change at AlphaTauri, as Noodles wasn't able to make it, so Dean Phelan takes his place. Aston Martin, we've got King of the Hills in place, as both Charles and Quick Killer are unavailable. And there's only Romans Republic in the Haas tonight. Romans Republic substituting for Strace, who is not around. Well, Uncle Sells, who wasn't around last week, is out on circuit now in the Red Bull. I hope it won't make too many mistakes in this session. He makes his way through turn 4. And then he comes towards turns 5 and 6. Taking it steady over the curbs. No problem through that. So he's absolutely fine. So what can Uncle Sells do from here? Find out soon enough. And he goes round turn 12 and then through 13. Of course, last season's winner was Total Peas in the C1 category. He's not around this season. The man who finished second to him in that one, also not around. But Michael, who finished on the podium last season, is around tonight in the Alpine. We'll be hoping for a much better result tonight than what he had last week. He did finish in the points. He finished inside the top 10, but he had that spin on the last lap that cost him dear, and that time penalty did not help him either. Uncle Sells is on a flying lap now, though, as he hopes to keep his car on the racetrack. We'll go riding on board with him as he enters turn 4, and then a left into 5, and then 6. Oh, he outbrakes himself into turn 7. Then coming into turn 8. I think Dean Phelan's right behind actually now in the AlphaTauri, so we'll go to him once Uncle Sells completes his fine lap. And someone's gone for a spin in sector 12. I think that was just the Ferrari of Jeremy just slowing down to allow someone through who has just started the flying lap. Uncle Sells entering sector 2 now. Oh, he's gone off though. That's his lap time done, and he'll have to go again. Red Dog is about to complete a flying lap though. Red Dog, who missed last week, so to make up for lost time as he crosses over the start finish line to post the first time. It's a 1:26.6. Miceli beaten up by quite some margin, nearly 7 tenths faster than the AlphaTauri pilot. We've got someone else crossing over the line. Couldn't quite tell though, as it may just be someone on a flying on an outlap. Uncle Sel's posting of 149, which is nowhere near representative, as we know. Dean Phelan over the line. He goes fast. It's on a 125.5, so that's good pace there from Dean Phelan. He goes to the top of the timing pages. Jaihu going third on a 126.2. And then we've got a Mercedes next up over the line. That will be Robbo. He posts a 126.5 also. So we've seen some competitive times already so far in the opening minutes. Bruges goes up to third on a 26.1. Rose Republic. Seen in other leagues he's been competing in, and of course this last season. We know what he can do in terms of lap times. It's a 26.3 for him. B16 boy will be looking to post his first time on the board without any issue. He does have a Mercedes in front of him who is a bit of a distance ahead, so it shouldn't really impede him. So B16 boy entering the start-finish straight. And it'll also be a 1 minute 26.3. Goes sick with that, which is not too shabby. Uncle Sel's improvement on 28.3, but it's nowhere near representative in comparison to the competition. Robbo's looking to improve on his 26.5. In terms of getting through, you are looking at a low 1 minute 26 to stand a really good chance of getting through. We'll go to Jeremy next, who has just gone past set 2 now. He's on a 1 minute 50 by there. What can he conquer up here on his lap? Crashed out last week at turn 9 in Spain. So 126.4 for him. He goes 7th fastest. So Uncle Sel's 2/10 up in sector 1 from before. King Hill's also looking to improve on his unrepresentative effort. Uncle Sel's runs wide though at turn 11, carrying too much speed into the corner. This is not going to be a very quick time, to be honest with you, from Uncle Sel's. He's running too far out wide though. Not enough for him to lose his lap time. And there should be an improvement here. It's a 127.8. It's still a long way away from the others. King of the Hills is next up for Aston Martin. One of the reserves being called in for tonight. And his lap time is a 127.7. He goes in front of Uncle Sel's by a 10th. Here's Bert Culliver, who's looking to book his place in Q2. Didn't do so last week. It's 1 at 5.5, so he's some way away from the pace where he needs to be. There's a few cars up ahead of him. One of them is a Ferrari, the other is a Williams by the looks of it. So Culliver coming into the last turn now. He needs to be in the 126s at least, but he's not in that range. He's at 127.1, so he goes 10th with that. Grimjaws has his lap time invalidated, so he'll have to go again. Rams Republic improving to a 125.9. Third behind Maselli and Phelan. Here's Mauricio Surrey, one of 6 drivers yet to post a time so far. He's looking to start his session in the best way possible. Another one of those casualties in Spain. He had only 11 finishes last week out of 20 that started. So Surrey looking to ideally be in the 1 minute 26s, possibly the 1 minute 25s, depending on the pace that he can produce here. So some strong pace at the back end of last season as well did Mauricio, so he's looking to carry that through here. By set to 2, 1 minute 5.4. It's not very quick, to be quite honest with you. Nagel's also behind him. He should be okay. His lap time is a 1:27. It's a 1:26.9. Nagel beats that on a 26.4. Avalanche has gone off the track. Here's Ruin. He posts a 1:25.8. Goes up to second with that. Here's Robbo in the Mercedes. Looking to improve on his 26.5, but he's not going to be able to do that. He's a long way away on his current lap, so we'll come away from him. Grimjaw's posted a 1:25.9, so that really should see him through. Dean Phelan's out on circuit again on the soft compound. Over 2/10 clear of everyone else so far. Although this is not the session to determine the grid, except those from 16th to 18th. So Avalanche is on a flying lap again. So he'll be looking to post a time on the board and book his place in Q2. Michael's not out on circuit yet. Dean Phelan's time has been invalidated, so we may as well back out of that. Here's Robbo on a flying lap in the Mercedes. A 1:26.5 is the lap that he's on at the moment. Can he better that here? And Phelan has retired in the pits. But should he make it through to Q2, he'll be back out on circuit again. Avalanche looks to get his first time on the board here. So he enters turns 14 and 15 onto the pit straight. It's a 1:26.8 and he goes 15th with that. So he's out of the bottom 3, but I'd like to think that Michael is on an outlap at the moment. Looks to better that. Uncle Sells has gone for another attempt. Is anyone else on a flying lap, I wonder? Not at the moment, so we'll go back to Uncle Sells. He's not taking the best line into turn 4. He needs to be taking a wider line. He's getting more exit speed. He outbrakes himself though into turn 6. Comes through turn 8. Not too shabby through that. Now this is the trickiest part of the circuit. Turn 10. Oh, he carried too much speed into it. So he's overdone it there as Uncle Sells. He's nearly a 10th up from before, but he's nowhere near of booking a place in Q2 with the lap he's on. So this is I have to say, it's been another dreadful lap for him. He's entering the pit straight now, and he does not improve his time. He lost time in the last sector. So Uncle Sol stays in the bottom 3 and 17th. Michael is on a quick lap though in the Alpine. Rear wing open. 4 minutes remaining. Most of the field are stuck in the pits. Michael's got no traffic to worry about. So he comes through sector 2 now. Oh, he's spun! So Michael spun there, and that's his lap ruined. He was lucky to keep out of the barrier as well. Reverses into the runoff area, which is the wise thing to do because there's other cars coming through. I think Bruges has just gone past him. So it's a good job he's got time to go and do another lap. So King of the Hills is on a flying lap now. 3/10 up from before in Sector 1. On King of the Hills has spun as well. So he's pointing the wrong way. Red Dog has backed off his lap. Bruges has started his latest lap now. He's currently 6th on a 1:26.1. Got over 3 minutes remaining. The bottom 3 are King of the Hills, Uncle Sells and Michael. So Bruges, oh my god, kick of oversteer as he was lighting up the rear tyres on the exit of turn 8. Turns 9 and 10, and Michael has crashed out. So Michael will not go any further in qualifying. For the second season running, he has been eliminated in Q1 in Bahrain. Jeremy Stock's in the pits as well, but he's safe into Q2. Michael will not be there. And Sully also stopping in the pits. Grimjaw likewise. Bruges does not improve his time, he stays 6th. Robbo does though, he goes up to 6th, so he found a lot of time on that last lap there, did Robbo. So he's pretty much safe into Q2. The driver on the bobble at the moment is Avalarch in 15th. The good news for him though is that the nearest man behind him is nearly a whole second off him in terms of lap time. King of the Hills is on a flying lap though, so we'll go to him. As he comes towards turn 11, does he get the car slowed down in time? Yes he does, very nice entry. And then he's to take a wide line into turn 12, which he does so. He's lost time in the second sector though by the sector 2. He is a 10th up from before. He needs to find a whole lot more than what he's producing at the moment though, is King of the Hills. Otherwise he'll be facing an early Q1 exit. Over the line, and he stays 16th. He does improve his time, but he needs to go again. Here's Avalarch, who's over nearly 4/10 up from before in Sector 1. Not too bad. Through turn 10, rear wing open. What's his time like in Sector 2? Could be in the 1 minute 4s, you know. It's a 1 minute 4.9. This is a great effort so far from Avalarch. The fastest time so far is a 1:25.5. Avalarch is currently 15th, but with this lap, this will most certainly guarantee him a place in Q2. Round in turns 14, 15. Oh, he's lost it! Oh, he's crashed! He's out of qualifying, his Avalarch! So Avalarch will not go through to Q2 because he's crashed out on circuit. A golden opportunity missed for the Ferrari pilot. King of the Hills is off the pace on his lap, so he'll be out of qualifying. Uncle Sells is on a better lap than before, so we'll stay with him. So we'll be losing 4 drivers at the end of Q1. No Avalarch, King of the Hills and Michael will be out. So Uncle Sells needs to beat a 1:26.8. In fact, if he does beat that, we'll only lose the bottom 3 drivers, because Avalarch will be pushed into the bottom 3. So So over the line goes Uncle Cells. It's a 127.4. He goes up to 16th, but he is out of qualifying. So we lose Michael, King of the Hills, Uncle Cells, and Avalanche, who crashed out on the exit of turn 14. So that is your bottom 4. They're all out. The top 14 go through to Q2. So we're just waiting for the session to officially end, and then we'll have our classification to confirm our bottom 4 drivers. Michael will be ruining that mistake, but as I've already said, well, not as I've already said, he did come back from from the back of the field to finish on the podium at this event in Season 1 in the CDR. So your bottom 4 at the end of that session: Avalanche, Uncle Cells, King of the Hills, and Michael. Those are the 4 not going through. The other 14 will be. Dean Fieldman's fastest. Can he maintain that in the remainder of the session? We'll be back in a moment. Here we are for Q2. We will be losing the slowest 4 out of the 14 before the top 10 advance into Q3. Just seeing both Mercedes drivers ready to leave their garages. I think the Williams is on his way out as well, so we'll go to Jaihu. He's on the mediums on his first run. Now Jaihu missed last week's event in Spain. Now last season, Jaihu finished 5th overall out of the full-time drivers. Now just looking to see who also is on the mediums. So those are out on circuit now. Robbo's on mediums, Jaihu is on mediums, as is Red Dog, Maurizio, Rome's Republic, Big Boy, and FaZe Maselli. So all of them giving it a go on the mediums, it seems. I think 1 or 2 are just going to wait for the gap in the traffic before they make their move. So Jaihu is entering the last turn. Jaihu's just started his final lap then on the mediums. What can he put together on this lap? He needs to try and give it his all, to be quite honest with you, if he wants to start the race on the medium compounds. That's if he's to get into Q3, of course. One of the McLarens has gone. He's moved over to the side actually to let other drivers through, so we'll stay with Jaihu. Jaihu coming towards turns 12 and 13. I'm at 5.5. And to be fair, on the mediums, that's not too bad. So definitely needs to try and find some time if he can. 13 out of the 14 drivers are on circuit. And Jeremy's stuck in the pits. Jaihu's coming round now. And it's going to be a 1:27.0. The Alfa Romeo next up. He's just starting his final lap now, actually. That's Mauricio. We'll go to the Mercedes of Misselli. And it's a 1:27.0 as well. But he goes to the top of the timing pages by over half a tenth. We'll go to the Haas of Rome's Republic, who's next to cross over the line. It's a 1:27.0 as well. So very close times at this present moment. Big Boy also going onto a 1:27, but slowest of all those set a lap time. Red Dog next up. He's had a really poor lap though. It's a 1:28.4. Mauricio posting a 1:27.1 on his lap, but Yakunaga's just started his final lap now. Bruges goes fastest on a 26.8. Grimshaw got out of shape entering turn 13, and he's decided to back up out of this lap. Here's Yakunagel on the mediums. And Mauricio on a faster lap than before. And Red Dog has crashed out on the exit of turn 7, so he is out of qualifying. Now the 1:28.4. He might not end up 14th, but whatever happens, he won't be going any further in qualifying. Even if he was to get inside the top 10, he won't go any further. So his session for qualifying is over. One minute 6.0 for Yakunagel. Yakunagel, 1 minute 27.4. And there's Calvert also on the mediums. He needs to be in the 1 minute 27s really. It's a 1:28.1, so it's quite some way off. Dean Villan is next behind. What lap is he going to put up here? 1:26.7, and he goes to the top of the timing pages with that effort. Grimjaw needs to post a representative time here. It's a 1:26.5, and he goes to the top of the timing pages with that. So Grimjaw leads Phelan and Bruges. Misselli not... Well, he's only fourth at the moment. We've seen Jaihu improving on his lap time, and he goes up to fourth with that. So Jaihu moves ahead of Misselli. Rome's Republic, a tenth up from before in sector 1, nearly 3 tenths up from before in sector 2 now. So he's on course of getting into the 1 minute 26s. What can he find in the last sector here? So Rome's Republic, can he get into the 1 minute 26s? Yes, he can. It's a 1:26.8. He goes fourth with that. That pushes Misselli down even further. Ruin's on a much better lap than before. Half a second up from before in sector 2. He posted a 1:27.2 on the last lap. This is going to be a 1 minute 26.6. And he goes second. Calvert also on an improvement. 1 minute 27.6. I think he may have the last lap time he had set invalidated actually. Or he's improved on his time. But he stays 11th with his effort. So the 4 drivers in the bottom 3 so far are Calvert, Red Dog, Robbo and Jeremy. But Jeremy's not been out on circuit yet until now. He's just about to start his flying lap. So Jeremy looking to try and get into Q3. A lot of time he's producing. The good news for him is that Red Dog is already out of qualifying, so there's just 3 more places needing to be filled. He's invalidated us that time, so he may as well back out of it. Women's Republic comes back to the pits. Got over 6 minutes remaining of Q2. All the drivers who have set their times have done so on the mediums. I'd imagine the likes of Miseli, Mauricio, B16 Boy, Yako and Caliver will be going out on a set of softs to try and get into Q3 on. So Jeremy starts another flying lap. What can he do from here? He outbrakes himself into turn 1. So if it doesn't end up in the same way as his teammate Avalarch in Q1, he outbrakes himself again into turn 4. Carried too much speed into that. So Jeremy, we've got 5 cars on circuit at the moment. Goes through turn 11 without any issue. Let's try and be in the 1:05s by sector 2, but I don't think he's going to be. So 1:06.2. So entering the start-finish straight. Oh, he's invalidated his lap time again. He may as well back out of it. I think he would have ended up in the bottom 4 anyway. But that is not good news for Jeremy in his pursuit of trying to get into Q3. So Robbo out on circuit now. Dean Phelan's on the soft compound he's on, so he doesn't think his time is going to be quick enough because all the other drivers are going to be going out on soft tyres. Rear wing open. And Robbo posts a 1:26.3. That's the fastest time so far. Dean Phelan. Oh, his lap time's invalidated. He ran wide on the exit of turn 4. So he'll have to go again. Caliver in the McLaren's just started the flying lap. B16 Boy, likewise, is currently on the bubble in 10th place. Jeremy coming back out on circuit now on the set of softs. There's an AlphaTauri ahead of B16 Boy. That'll be Dean Phelan. So sector 2, it's a 1:04.4. The B16 Boy. Oh, Big Boy. Looking to improve on his 10th position. You get into the low 1:26s, that should book his place into Q3. Even better than that, it's a high 1:25, it's a 1:25.8 for Big Boy. Caliver on an improvement in the McLaren. It's a 1:26.8, goes up to 8th with that time. So he He's given himself a chance of making it through, but there's going to be other drivers on hot laps on the softs. Jaco Nagel is one of them. He's in the drop zone in 12th. So the top 7 all stuck in the pits. Jaiho likewise, as is Maurizio. So Maurizio's out of qualifying. He's not going to get round in time to do another lap. I wonder if Miceli may choose to do the same, although having said that, Jaco Nagel and Jeremy are going to be on flying laps. So we know 2 drivers dropping out of qualifying at the end of Q2. Just 2 more remain. So Jaco Nagel goes past the Alpine. He enters turn 12, 1 minute 4.8. Nearly a whole second up from the time he had set on the mediums. So definitely on course for a low 1 minute 26. Moving open, and Jaco Nagel posts a 1:26.1. And he goes second with that time. Miceli is on circuit. He's on a set of mediums, actually. So he's going to try and get through on them. How much time can he find from before in sector 1? The answer is nearly a 10th so far. That's good news for Miceli. He's in the drop zone now in 11th place. Jeremy is out of qualifying. He almost no better than 13th. So it will be either Miceli or Jaiho that will be eliminated at the end of Q2. It'd be a shock if Miceli does end up being eliminated by the end of this session. 4th on the grid last week and 2nd in the race. So by the second sector is a 10th up. Oh, it's going to be very much touch and go, I'd reckon. As it stands, potentially he is going to make it through. But this could well come down to thousandths of a second. Miceli round in the last turn. Keeps his car within the limits of the racetrack. Over the line. He doesn't make it. So Miceli is out of qualifying. Lost a little bit of time in the last sector. Riding over the curbs on the exit of turns 14 and 15. He misses out by less than 300ths of a second. Jaiho goes through to Q3. As does Calvert. Calvert's done a great job getting up to 9th place. But Miceli is out of qualifying. He is out along with Maurizio, Jeremy and Red Dog. And when we thought Mr. Joker wasn't going to be around for tonight, last week's winner, Miceli wasn't able to hook up the lap time they needed on the mediums in order to get through to Q3. At least he's got a free choice of what tyres to start the race on though. So just to confirm your 4 eliminated drivers, they are Face Miceli, Maurizio, Jeremy and Red Dog. The top 10 go through to Q3, so we'll find out in around 12 minutes time who will be on pole for then. Don't go anywhere. Here we are for Q3 then. Who will prevail over the course of a single lap on this wonderful Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir. Broke ground and hosted its first Formula 1 race in 2004. Lewis Hamilton with the most victories at this circuit. 5 victories he has got, including the one he picked up in the opening race of 2021. In that brilliant battle between himself and title rival Max Verstappen. And just see the Haas of Rome's Republic making his way out onto the circuit now. Ben McCartney saying, where's Joker tonight? Interesting question. I really don't know where he is, to be quite honest with you, because he did check in via the CDR Discord. But he hasn't quite arrived in time as far as I know, unless someone can update me on that. So Rome's Republic coming towards the hairpin. We're seeing more and more drivers heading out on circuit now. Bruges and Ruin making the way out. Calvert doing the same. I think the AlphaTauri of Dean Phelan is likewise. He's one of the favourites to be going for pole, given the pace we've seen from him so far over the course of this qualifying session. I wonder if Jakob Nagel will decide to go in the gap in the traffic, unless he decides to leave his garage now. Either way, Rome's Republic coming around the last braking zone, and he'll start his first time lap of Q3. Can he get himself close? Put himself within the frame of a front row start. So heading into turn 1. So CDR Chapter limits, so he may as well back out of the lap he's on. Jaihu next behind him. .27.5 by sector 1. Jaihu coming towards turn 9 and then turn 10. Rear wing open on the Williams as he heads towards the back straight. And then turn 11, the next up, a left-hander. 5th gear you want to be in ideally. One minute 4.4 from Jaihu, which is not too bad of a time by sector 2. He's coming round now. Suppose the first time of Q3. We want to be in the 1 minute 25s. It is a 25.6, a good effort there from Jaihu. Big boy next up, 26.0 for him. Then it's Calvert who posts of 26.4. Robbo next behind, goes up to second on a 26.0. Ruin is on a fast lap in the Red Bull, but it's not the quickest by sector 2. Keeps his car within the confines of the racetrack, taking a wider line into turns 14 and 15, and on the pit straight, a 1:25.9, not the fastest. So Ruin goes to the front row, but it's Jaihu who has the upper hand so far, although Dean Phelan may have a say on that, as does Grimjaw, both of them on 1 minute 4.4s in the second sector. Grimjaw exiting turn 15. And he goes to the top of the time pages, 1 minute 25.6. Dean Phelan beats that by nearly 2 hundredths. So less than half a tenth separating the top 3 so far. That's mega. Very, very close lap times. Jakob Nagel's just coming out of the pits now, so we'll soon be seeing the first time from him in Q3. He'll probably try and get in front of Calvert if he can. on merit. Rome's Republic also making his way back out on circuit now in the Haas. Ruin's gone for another attempt. He's 10th up by sector 1. In sector 2, it's a very quick lap here so far, 1 minute 4.4. He's put himself within frame of going to provisional pole position. Is the Red Bull driver. Turns 14 and 15 to round off the lap. Can he get into a 1 minute 25.5 perhaps? It's a 1:26.6. He misses out on provisional pole by just over 200ths. But look at that. Less than half a tenth separating the top 4. Grimjaw's on a much better lap by sector 2. He's in the high 1 minute 3s by there. So this is a good opportunity for Grimjaw to take pole position here. And he beats Phelan by half a second. 1 minute 25.1. Beat that, the rest of the field. That must be what's going through Grimjaw's crash helmet. Yakanaga's just started his flying lap now. What can he do from here? Takes a nice entry into turns 1. Yakanaga gets past the Williams of Wills like Bruges, who remains out of the way. 27.6 in sector 1 for Yakanaga. Yakanaga from South Africa. One minute 4.5. It's not the fastest we've seen, so he's probably going to be looking at a high 1 minute 25, unless he can find some time in the remainder of the lap. So Yakanaga, what can he do? Can he go in front of Robbo with this attempt? Yes, he can. It's at 1 minute 25.7. He nearly leapfrogged Big Boy, but he missed out by over 100. Rome's Republic in the Haas. He's on a fresh set of softs, so this may well be his last attempt. He may decide to go again. It's a 1:25.5. He goes to the front row, does Rome's Republic. So, excellent job from him there. Bruges is on a flying lap. Yakanaga's backed out on his current one. I think Rose is going for another attempt here. Let's see what his time is like in sector 1. He's well away, so we'll come away from him. So Bruges and Culliver are on flying laps right now. Bruges entering sector 2 now, 1 minute 4.6. It's not too bad. Definitely in play in terms of battling with the likes of Phelan, Ruin, Jaihu and Big Boy and Yakanaga. Entering turn 14. It's a 26.0. He only goes 8th. He'll be disappointed with that. Culliver's lost time in the second sector, so we'll come away from him. Jaihu's lost time on his current lap, so that's his lap done. Rome's Republic not on a fast lap. He comes back into the pits. Yakanaga likewise. Bruges, I think, is going for another attempt. We'll see what his time in sector 1 is like. He's nearly 3/10 up from before, so it's a good lap so far from Bruges. Robbo's just started his final attempt. Looks to improve on his 9th position. Considering the pace he's shown, it's disappointing to see where he is right now, so be interesting to see if he is on an improvement We'll go to him now, actually, and then we'll come back to him after Bruges has done his attempt. Robbo, a 10th up from before in sector 1, so that's good news for him. What can Bruges do? In sector 2, 1 minute 4.5, a 10th up from before by this stage. And the next man up from him is over 2 tenths ahead, so Bruges needs to find some time if he can in the last sector. So down the start finish straight. Bruges' lap time is a 25.8, but he stays in 8th position. Jakernagel will start no higher than 7th. We'll go back to Robbo, who's lost time in the second sector. So that's his session over. Calvert's on a much better time than before, though. He goes 8th. So Calvert improves on his 10th position. He posted 25.7, very close to beating the likes of Jakernagel and Big Boy. So that's a great effort from the McLaren driver. And Jaihu's backed out of his attempt. Grimjaw on an outlap as is Rome's Republic. Don't think Rome's is going to have time to get round, to be quite honest with you. Dean Phelan in the pits, so he will not be taking pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Ruin is going for a last ditch attempt. Although Grimjaw's margin is quite significant. 4 tenths it is. He's just started his last attempt now. So the Czechoslovakia's about to fall in 10 seconds time. Ruin coming through sector 1. What's his time like? He needs to be in the 27s ideally. He's over a 10 down from before, so Ruin not on a good lap at the moment. Jaihu, I don't think he's on a... Is he on a fast lap? He is, but he's 400ths down from before. Bruges coming back into the pit lane. Calvert will do likewise. Robbo has had his last lap time invalidated. So it's just Grimjaw, Ruin and Jaihu on fast laps. It's looking very good for Grimjaw so far. And Ruin is nearly 2 tenths up from before by the second sector. So it's looking good for a front row start. Ruin, another one of those from the country of South Africa. Oh, he's lost it though! He keeps his Red Bull out of the wall. So he will not start any higher than 4th place on the grid. Jaihu's backed off on his lap. So Grimjaw will start the Bahrain Grand Prix from pole position in the McLaren. And with Maselli down the order on the grid, and Mr. Joker not around it seems, he's got a great chance of potentially taking the lead in the championship. But that's only part 1 of the job done for the McLaren driver. So excellent qualifying for Grimjaw, finding the lap time he needed, and very well done to Rome's Republic for getting his hat up into second. Phelan will be disappointed, I think, will be with third, but he did show some strong pace, which we could well see in the race later on. So that's the end of the session. Grimjaw lines up on pole position with Rome's Republic alongside him. Then it's Dean Phelan and Ruin next up ahead of Jaihu and Big Boy making up row 3. Jakernagel, a good 7th for him ahead of Kellever and a really decent 8. Bruges 9th and Robbo rounding out your top 10. That's the end of qualifying. Now it's on to the race. Who will come away with the winner's trophy at the end of the next 29 laps? You just noticed that another driver's joined, which is Joftus, full-time driver for one of the teams in there. Just trying to find out which team that will be. So I think he's a full-time driver. So he's in the... Just looking to see which car he has taken. Now I can imagine it'll be either the Haas or the Aston Martin, because both AlphaTauris are filled. So it'll just be either the Aston Martin or the Haas, of which will be racing him. I'm less than 30 seconds away now from the start of the formation lap. And Joftus is in the Aston Martin. And I will look at the tyres, of which each driver is on. So the top 5 are on mediums. Bruges is also on the mediums. Maselli right down to Avalanche are also on mediums, as are King of the Hills and Michael. Uncle Sells and Joftus are on hards. The rest are on softs. So race strategy is going to play a pivotal role in deciding this race here tonight. And if you have just joined us on the stream, we do welcome you. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Do feel free to get involved as well in case you want to ask any questions as the race goes on. So Grimjol hopes to convert his pole position to the race victory, but anything can happen here in Bahrain. Maselli will be looking to make up ground from 11th spot. He'll be expected to carve his way through the easier drivers, of which he'll overtake before he gets onto the tougher guns. There are 19 drivers on the grid then. Michael and Joftus, with their genuine pace, we expect them to carve their way through the field as well. So what is Grimjaw thinking right now? So Grimjaw and Rose Republic in line next to each other on the grid. Mauricio and Jeremy are already there as they came together on the formation lap, hence why their cars have been automatically put back on the grid. So just waiting for the field to come up now. Here we go then. 5 red lights come on when they extinguish. We'll be racing here in Sakhir. It's the lights out and away we go. And Grimshaw gets off the line well, as does Dean Phelan from 3rd place. It looks like Dean Phelan may be able to get the jump onto the McLaren into turn 1. Side by side they go into the first turn. And Grimjaw stays in the lead, although Dean Phelan may have the better drive coming out of there. But it's the McLaren who stays ahead. So Grimjaw leads, and Dean Phelan in second place. They've got Ruin in third. Roman's Republic has lost ground, so he's going side by side with the Red Bull of Ruin, I believe. They've got the Alpine and another McLaren behind. Jaihu is up into third place, ahead of the Haas. So Roman's Republic down to fourth. And we've got the other McLaren of Calibert going side by side with Ruin, but Ruin keeps on at fifth place. And they've got Big Boy in the Alpine in sixth. Misselli making up good ground in the Mercedes in seventh spot. He goes side by side. Big Boy goes off the circuit. He avoids contact. And looks like trying to get in front of Misselli again. Uncle Sales is in ninth position. So he's made up good ground from the back of the grid, in fact, on the hard tyres. So great job from him so far. So Grimjaw leads. It's Dean Phelan in second place. Jaihu's third. Then we've got the Haas of Rome's Republic in fourth. He's down a couple of positions. Ruin is in fifth. Had a Calibert, Big Boy, Misselli, Robbo and Uncle Sales rounding out your top 10 so far. Grimjaw less than second clear of Dean Phelan. We expect these two to be fighting all the way to the end of the race. They've shown some strong pace throughout qualifying, but it's the race that matters most. So they're both exiting turn 14. Jaihu doing a fantastic job getting up to third place from where he was on the grid. Just looking to see where he started. He started fifth on the grid. He's already up to third place. So he's made up a brilliant couple of positions. Big Boy looking to get in on the Actors. Ruin goes defensive on the McLaren. One of the Ferraris into the pits. I think that's Alavalach who's come in. So he's already losing time and places at the present moment. Calibert going to the outside of the Rebel. He's through. Set Calibert on the soft compound, making good use of it and getting in front of the Red Bull. Ruin going side by side with the Alpine of Big Boy. He fends him off on this occasion. Now Misselli and one of the Red Bulls has gone off the track. I think that's Uncle Sells has gone wide. Someone's gone off. That'll be Uncle Sells, who's spun round. What a shame, because he made up good ground at the beginning. And is already at the back of the field. So Grimjaw leads ahead of Phelan in second. And then Jaihu right behind in third place, I should say, but he's lost a bit of ground on them. A couple of seconds adrift. Then it's Rome's Republic in fourth. And Calibert in fifth. Ruin sixth. And with Big Boy leading the two Mercedes cars. Big Boy runs wide on the exit of turn 13. Misselli will pull alongside. And the Mercedes should have enough high ground to get through, but we couldn't quite do it there, so we'll have to wait behind a little bit longer. Dean Phelan posting a new fastest lap of the race. Calibert now posting a new fastest lap of the race. So Calibert showing some strong pace so far. A 5-second penalty for Red Dog for gaining a position by going off the racetrack. So that'll be him taking that at his next pit stop. Dean Phelan not close enough to have a go on Grimjaw just yet. Got Jaihu in third place. Looking to break clear of Rome's Republic's Haas. Just see him move there. Misselli going to the inside of Big Boy, but Big Boy having a better exit than the Mercedes to stay ahead. So both Mercedes cars are in an Alpine sandwich as we speak. And Jaihu trying to break the toe from the Haas behind him. So Jaihu in third position. Rome's Republic ahead of Calibert. Rome's Republic getting tapped from behind there by Calibert, hence why the Haas has gone off track. Now Calibert is under pressure now from Ruin, as Ruin on the mediums pulls alongside the McLaren, and that should see the Red Bull go past up into fifth place, although Calibert does fight back on the outside and he gets back through again. Uncle Sells getting penalised for track limits as Droftus comes into the pit lane for a new front wing in the Aston Martin. He's had a dreadful start to this race. He didn't take part in qualifying, he arrived late in the lobby. He's left himself an awful amount to do. Both Ferraris at the back of the field now. Jeremy also came into the pits for damage, or for a new front wing anyway. So Grinjaw leads, Phelan second. So those two are going to be the favourites going for the victory here tonight. And someone's gone off in sector 2. Is that Uncle Sells again? It is. But it's continued. Robbo gets ahead of Michael briefly before Michael fights back, and he's past the Mercedes. So Michael gets up to 9th place after starting 18th. Crashed out in qualifying, hence why he started there. And there's Ruin in 6th position behind Calvert. New fastest up of the race by Dean Phelan. Calvert comes into the pits at the end of lap 4. That's very early to make a pit stop. But at least he can get some clear air as he puts the medium tyres on. Bruges looking to go past Jakernagel for 11th. And Calvert will rejoin in 15th position. And Bruges has gone off. Oh, he's pointing the wrong way on the exit of turn 2. So that's his race going from bad to worse. But trying to fend off Jakernagel, but to no avail. And seeing this long train of cars now as Rome's Republic has got past Jaihu for 3rd place. Miceli's also up to 5th, so Miceli making up for lost time after being eliminated at the end of Q2. So Rome's Republic into in there as Uncle Sells has gone off again at turn 7. Has continued anyway. And the Ferrari also going off. That's Avalarch. He's gone for another spin. And Dean Phelan is through into the lead ahead of Grimshaw. So Dean Phelan in front of the McLaren. We didn't quite see it, but we know the aftermath of it. So Dean Phelan takes over ahead of the pack. Miceli right behind the Williams of Jaihu as they tussle over 4th position. And all has been coming together. Uncle Sells and Joftis has crashed out. They've both crashed out of the race, and the safety car is being deployed. So we've just started lap 5. It says it's lap 5. But either way, the safety car's being deployed now. How have they come together there? That's a very strange incident. Calvert's been penalised for speeding on the safety car, so he'll have to take a drive-through penalty once the safety car goes back in. This is good news for the Ferraris of Jeremy and Avalarch, as they will be able to catch up to the back of the field. Joftis' miserable race ends in contact with the Red Bull. We are in fact on lap 6, so I was right after all. Yeah, I think the Aston Martin and the Red Bull came together when they were fighting over position as they came towards turn 11. So they're both out of the race, and I think the stewards may want to have a look at that incident. We didn't quite capture it on this stream, but drivers are instructed to record their races for any potential incidents later on, of which stewards do review post-race. Now those on the soft compound will most certainly be coming into the pits. Dean Phelan in the pits as is Grimshaw. Miceli decides to stay out, so he will lead the race. And a coming together between Ruin and Michael has resulted in those two being penalised. Bit of debris on the track there. Now Culliver, he'll be ruining that mistake earlier on, because now he's lost a heap of time. We'll get in front of the Mercedes though, I should think, of Robbo, so he gets back into 6th position, but he has got that drive-through penalty, of which he'll have to take on the restart. So Bruges is in 14th place. Jeremy coming in for a pit stop. Avalanche carries on for another lap. So Red Dog coming into the pits. He's also going to go onto a set of mediums, I should think. Safety car is going around for at least another lap. Jeremy hasn't caught up to the back of the field yet. The AlphaTauri is on its way. He'll rejoin behind Avalanche. So, your race order: Miceli leads, Dean Phelans in second, Grimjaw third, Romans Republic is in fourth place, Jaihu fifth, Culliver sixth, but he has that drive-through penalty which he'll have to take after the safety car goes back in. Robbo seventh, Richo eighth, Ruin ninth, and Michael in 10th. The only driver yet to stop in this race is the race leader, Miceli. He'll need to try and go on a longer first stint and actually pull away from the pack. And safety car comes in at the end of this lap, so Miceli backs up the field. And Miceli will lead the field round. He'll go when he's ready. He's not gone yet. May decide to wait until the last moment, but he's away now. Miceli leads on the restart, but he's got Dean Phelan over the back of him, who is on fresher tyres. Kellevic comes into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. He'll fall to the back of the field. And Phelan goes to the inside into turn one on Miceli. Miceli will have the high ground on the exit because it's off camber. He gets back through. So Miceli able to hold on to the lead, but for how long? He goes to the right again to fend off the AlphaTauri behind. Dean Phelan going to the outside. They're going to go side by side through 5 and 6. But I think Miceli will have the high ground. But Dean Phelan's there. They're still side by side through turn 7 now. Miceli have the inside into 8. Bang of wheels there. Miceli is into the lead again, but although Phelan's still alongside. And Phelan's through into the lead at last there. So Phelan retakes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Grimjaw now needs to do the same and get past the Mercedes. But as we well know, Miceli's not going to be an easy man to pass. He's already won races in the past in the CDR, in the C1 category last season. Winner in Hungary and winner in China. And he could well be race winner here today if the strategy works for him. And there's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. Someone's gone off in sector 3. Is that Bruges? Oh, it's coming together though. It's one of the Alpines, and Jakob Nagel seems to have damage there. That's part of his front wing gone. Big Boy's front wing's completely gone. Bruges may have had damage in all that as well. So drama there. Michael gets past Robbo for 6th. Miceli trying to fight back on Dean Phelan to turn 1, but doesn't quite do it there. So Yakanoglu in the pits. Big Boy likewise. Will either of those two decide to continue? At least that moves Calvert up a couple of positions. So Miceli in 2nd position. Looks to get back through on the AlphaTauri, providing he can stay within a second of him. So Ruin behind Robbo as these two fight over 7th position as they enter turns 12 and 13. Dean Phelan posting a new fastest at 1 minute 28.8. It's crucially bridged out that 1 second margin to keep him out of DRS range. Jeremy gets a time penalty for chat limits. Michael goes past Jaiho and up into 5th place then. He wants to close in on the Haas of Romans Republic in front. A dog behind the Aston Martin of King of the Hills. Able to get in front here, goes to the inside, and he gets through, no problem. Although the Aston Martin's still there, and the Aston Martin, I believe, is going to still be able to stay ahead. Leave each other space, the Aston Martin's through. Bruges has gone for another spin in the Williams, his race goes from bad to worse, that promotes Calvert up another position. So Michael in 4th place then. He's also got by Romans Republic, so he's had a cracking restart. Grimjaw's now ahead of Miceli, so that's crucial for the race victory. Michael's trying to get past Miceli to the inside. They go into turn 13, and Michael's through as well, so Miceli beginning to lose crucial ground here. Although he's going to have DRS. I've just noticed that Michael is on soft tyres. We'll get the tyre graphic up again. Michael will need to pit soon to go on to what will probably be the mediums for the last stint. But Grimjaw can go to the end on the compound he's on, the hard tyres they are. He goes deep into turn 1 though. Michael may be able to get a run on him down the back straight. And Michael's doing up into 2nd place. So Michael doing a cracking restart so far as he looks to close in on race leader Dean Phelan. And someone's gone off. Is that the Ferrari of Avalanche? It is. So Avalanche is off at turn 2 and rejoins the track behind Calvert. Yakanoglu posting a new fastest up of the race. Michael gets penalised now for chat limits. So that's 3 seconds for his race time at the end. Grimjaw looks to get back through on the Alpine. And all of this is helping Dean Phelan a lot. Grimjaw going to the outside of Michael. Doesn't quite do it there. He's got to watch the Mercedes as well, does Grimjaw. Oh, Michael spins round! Michael spins round the exit turn 12, and he'll be falling down the order from there. So Michael makes another mistake, just as he did so in Spain a week ago. So Miceli gets back up to 3rd place, Grimjaw back into 2nd. Oh, Miceli nearly overcuts the rears on the way out of turn 15. And he's got Romans Republic. He'll be breathing down his neck as they go into turn 1. Romans Republic to the inside. Still within the car's length. Miceli looking to fend off the Mercedes. Oh, so the Haas, sorry. They couldn't quite do so there. Michael's mistake has cost him places. He's down to 9th now. and he'll be in the pit shortly for a new set of what will probably be mediums. Jakob Nagel with another fastest lap. He's basically got free air at the moment, as he's 8 seconds off Avalanche in 15th. And Michael's out now. So Michael does the same mistake on the exit of turn 7, and we have our second safety car of the event. So the Grand Prix takes another turn, and I think that may prompt Dean Phelan into the pits. And I think it depends what Grimjaw decides to do as well. So Michael will score no points in this race. He did finish on the podium at this track in Season 1 in the CDR, but it's not to be tonight. So he's the third driver out of the race. We're on lap 13. Dean Phelan's lead of 5 seconds will be wiped out. Oh, he's gone into the pits too quickly though. So Dean Phelan picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's really bad news. And Miceli as well. These drivers are going far too quickly into the pit lane. Ruin stays out. Now will Jeremy decide to come in? So 3 drivers penalised for speeding in the pits. Culver gets the car slowed down in time. No problem for him there. Bruce stays out in the Williams. Avalanche makes his way in. He gets the Ferrari slowed down in time as well. Jakob Nagel deciding to stay out on his soft compound. And Avalanche, Jeremy's trying to get in front of the Alfa Romeo, but he couldn't quite do it there. He's on the soft compound, so I can imagine Jeremy will be pitting again before this race is over. Red Dog comes out of the pits, as does Avalanche. Those two rejoining 15th and 16th. But Grimjaw into the lead of the race now. Robbo is up to second in the Mercedes. It's Ruin ahead of Mauricio. Dean Phelan is in 5th on the soft compound tyres, so we expect him to make his way through the field on the restart. But it's doubtful that he'll go to the end of the race on those. So we're on lap 14. 15 laps to go at the end of this one. Safety car will stay out for another lap at least. So will we see more and more drivers go into the pit lane? I think Grimjaw will decide to stay out to keep track position. He'll probably go to the end of the race on the hard tyres, to be quite honest with you. Robbo and Ruin may well do the same. They'll be on better tyres than Grimjaw at this point. There's King of the Hills. He's deciding to stay out. Jakob Nagel ducks into the pits. Now what tyres is Jakob Nagel going to go on? I think he's going to go on a set of mediums, is it? No, it's hards. So Jakob Nagel will go to the end of the race on those most definitely. Grimjaw, who started the race on pole, has got a good chance of taking the victory now, considering that Phelan has his time penalty and it's likely he'll be stopping again. Miceli has got a time penalty. It's doubtful he'll be stopping again before this race is over, so not only would he need to get in front of the rest of the field, but we need to pull out a big enough margin. There's King of the Hills in 7th on hard tyres that are 7 laps old. And as it stands, as far as the championship is concerned, we are only at round 2 of season 2 of the CDR. Just to run through the calendar, there are a total of 15 rounds for this season. which will end on the weekend of the 12th to the 14th of November. So we've already done Spain. This is Bahrain. So round 3 will be in Canada, followed by Spa, Zandvoort, Monza, Abu Dhabi, Sochi. Round 9 is yet to be confirmed. Round 10 will be in Japan. Round 11 is yet to be confirmed. Round 12 will be in Austin. Round 13 will be in Mexico City. Round 14 will be in Interlagos, the penultimate round. And then the last round of the season will be at whatever track. It's likely to be one of the DLC tracks, so either Imola, Portimao or Jeddah. Well, the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. Grimjaw will back up the field, and he'll go when he is ready to do so. And he's gone now, so Grimjaw leads on the restart ahead of Robbo, with Ruin, Mauricio and Dean Phelan next behind. Dean Phelan going on the offensive as he looks to get past the Alfa Romeo. Oh, and there's been an incident. Bruges and Jeremy have come together on the pit straight. So Bruges and Jeremy have collided on the pit straight. They are both out of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So 2 more have been eliminated. I think because the restart has only just begun, I don't think the safety car is going to come out for that. So Grimjaw leads, Robbo second, Ruin third, Dean Phelan has got past Miceli, has lost ground on the restart, and he's in 5th. So Dean Phelan looking to get in front of the Red Bull of Ruin. Won't be able to do that into turn 8. And Ruin's out of the race as well. He's lost it. So he's lost it on the exit of turn 8. So 3 cars eliminated on the restart here in Sakhir. So Grimjaw stays ahead with Robbo second. And it's Dean Phelan ahead of Miceli. Mauricio still in 5th. Roman 6th. Red Dog getting ahead of Culliver into 9th place. So we've got 13 left in the race now. Dean Phelan has got past Miceli. And now he's going to go to the inside of Robbo to get up into 2nd position. I wonder if Dean Phelan had been involved in the collision with Ruin that sent Ruin into the barrier and out of the event. We'll find out later anyway. That's both Red Bulls out of the Grand Prix then. We're on lap 17 out of 29. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart, so Dean Phelan won't have the luxury of DRS yet. King of the Hills continuing to go back, has just been overtaken by the Alpine. Oh, he's had a nudge from behind by Avalanche, and Avalanche is the next one to be eliminated. So that's the 4th driver we've lost in a space of just over a lap, and we have another safety car. We've got another safety car in this. So Avalanche just hit the back of King of the Hills on the exit turn 2. He had gone into the barrier, and his race is run. He's another one out. So both of the Ferraris out within a lap of each other on the restart. So that's the field decimated to 12. Incredible. Carnage on the restart. So we have our 3rd safety car of the race. Now will Grimjaw decide to pit in and maybe go onto a set of mediums? Well, Miceli may decide to go onto a set of mediums. We'll find out what everyone is doing right now anyway. So Grimjaw decides to stay out. Phelan ducks into the pits, which is no surprise. Big Boy also coming in for Alpine. So Robbo rejoins in 9th, Mauricio 10th. Phelan, with his time penalties served in the pits, is in 11th. Big Boy out on his way again in 12th. So Grimjaw has more work to do then to open up that gap. Miceli's on fresher tyres than he is. So I wonder if Grimjaw may decide to pit in at the end of this lap to get a set of soft tyres on. So Grimjaw in the lead. Vasili's second. Rome's Republic is now third. Jaihu fourth. Red Dog is in fifth, but it's doubtful that he'll go to the end on those soft compound tyres. Caliber is in sixth, ahead of King of the Hills. Yakanagel is in eighth. Robbo ninth. Micho 10th. Dean Phelan 11th. And Big Boy in 12th. Well, the whole field's caught up now to the safety car, so will the safety car decide to go in at the end of this lap? Well, the lights are still on, so I assume it'll be staying out for one more lap. So Grimjaw, will he decide to come into the pits? Maselli doesn't do. I don't think anyone is. So no one coming into the pits at the end of the lap. And now on lap 19. Oh, someone's... Is that the debris from leftover involving Jeremy and Bruges? It could well be, to be quite honest with you. So much has happened in this race so far, and it's still not even finished. Now, as it stands with the positions as they are, Grimjaw will go into the lead. Well, if he wins this race, I'm just looking to see who's got the fastest lap at the moment. That's gone to Yakanagel. So Yakanagel has the point for the fastest lap, but it's Grimjaw who leads. Grimjaw will move on to 41 points, sorry. Maselli will be on 40. And Robbo, who's in 9th place, he'll be on 12, although, well no, you get 7 points for finishing 9th when it comes to the CDR. By the way, it's Grimjaw Jagger who will be leading the championship after this round as it stands, but we've got 10 laps to go at the end of this one, and so much can still change. This is the third safety car of the Bahrain Grand Prix in the C1 category. And the safety car will go in at the end of this lap. So Grimjaw, like he did so before, will he do the same in terms of how he accelerated on the restart? On the exit of turn 14, or will he wait just before the line? So Grimjaw has not gone yet, but he has done now. So he leads. So crucial restart there. Oh, is that a collision behind, or is that just the leftover debris that's been kicked up by one of the drivers? I think that's just debris being kicked up. Maselli thought about going for a move on Grimjaw into turn 1. Doesn't quite make it stick there. Red Dog gets ahead of Caliver on the restart there. He goes up into 5th place. Dean Phelan's dropped back though. I think he's left the session, so we hope to see him back before the race is over. It's Grimjaw who's still ahead, but remember, Maselli's on hard tyres. They've done 7 laps less than the McLaren. Rome's Republic and Joy, who are also looking to get in on the act. Red Dog as well. He's not carrying a time penalty at the moment. Maselli is carrying a time penalty, so it's important that Maselli gets in front of Grimjaw as soon as he can and pull out a 5-second margin on him. So Robbo getting ahead of King of the Hills for 8th. Doing well on his fresh mediums. Going to turns 12 and 13. Richo also gets in front of the Aston Martin. So Maselli right into the slipstream of the McLaren now. So come up towards the start-finish line to begin lap 21. Now, which way is the McLaren going to go here? So they go into the outside. Grimshaw holds the inside, covers his line, and he stays ahead. Whereas Republican Jaihu also not changing position. We can just see Maselli going side by side with the McLaren. Is Maselli into the lead of the race? The answer is yes. So Maselli in front, but he has got that 5-second penalty of which he has to serve at the end of the race unless he pits again. So Maselli leads the Bahrain Grand Prix on the road. Now Rose Republic will be fancying his chances of the race victory. Grimjaw goes wide. Rose Republic can't quite get through. But he wants to get through as soon as he can here, so he can go toe-to-toe with Maselli for the race victory. And Calvert going off the track there. He loses out to Yakanagel. It gets past. So Rose Republic sitting behind the McLaren. So Jaihu in 4th place. On course for a good result here today. Much better than last week. Well, he didn't compete last week, I should say. But he's definitely on course for a good result tonight as it stands. DRS has now been enabled. Won't be on the start-finish straight, but Grimshaw can use it, providing he's within 1 second of Maselli at the detection point before the back straight, which he is so. Big Boy posting a new fastest after the race is in 10th, so he would be able to get that point as it stands. Richo moves in front of Robbo for 8th. So there's Maselli out in front now. Oh, Grimjaw's in the wall! Grimjaw is in the barrier and he's out of the race! What drama yet again! Grimjaw losing it on the exit of turn 6. Hits the Armco at turn 7, and that brings out the safety car for the 4th time. Yet another safety car. Grimjaw, who started the race on pole position, looked on course, potentially for the race victory, has thrown it all away with 8 laps remaining. Now, Maselli, will he decide to pit in at the end of this lap? Now, if he comes in and goes onto a set of soft tyres, he'll be able to take his 5-second penalty under the safety car. Surely that's what he might be thinking. Now, will Jaihu decide to do the same? So Maselli pits in. Jaihu does likewise. So Rowan's... Oh no, Maselli gets penalised again for speeding. So he won't be able to take that. He can take the 5 seconds from before, but that's really hard luck there for the man who was going for the race victory. Robbo's had to wait behind so he can get a set of tyres on. Now I think Maselli may decide to pit in again to take those 5 seconds. He'll be joined in 5th behind Big Boy. So Rowan's Republic has caught up to the safety car now. Yakanagel is in 2nd place. Mauricio Sari's 3rd. Big Boy is in 4th. I cannot believe how this race has gone. So Rowan's Republic in the Haas in the lead at the moment. He started... Just looking to see where he started on the grid. He started 2nd on the grid, did Rowan's Republic, so he's been thereabouts throughout this one. Yakanagel most certainly not, though. He started 7th, and he's now into 2nd place, so could he be on course for a podium? He hasn't got a time penalty at the moment to his name, so providing he stays like that, he could even take the race victory should something happen to Rowan's Republic. The safety car staying out for another lap. So 9 drivers circulating. Well, just caught up to the safety car. Got King of the Hills and Robbo in there. and Dean Phelan. So we're down to 11 runners then. I think there's going to be quite a few words between the drivers and the stewards after the race, given all the collisions that have happened. So 8 drivers out of the 19 out of the race. 11 still running. Just looking to see if there's any drivers making inquiries in relation to incidents, and the answer is not yet. This is going to be an incredible last 5 laps of this race once the safety car does go in at the end of this lap. So Roman's Republic in front of the 2 Alfa Romeos. It's Big Boy in 4th, Misselli 5th, Jai Hu ahead of Culliver, Red Dog, King of the Hills, Dean Phelan and Robbo, although Robbo's just got back through because Dean Phelan overtook him. So the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, I would imagine, just waiting for confirmation. And it is in at the end of this lap. So Rome's Republic, the new race leader, is 5 laps away from race victory. Can he fend off the Alfa Romeos and all those have just pitted for the soft compound? Roman's Republic. When will he decide to go? He's not gone yet. He's still weaving. He's gone now though. And we're away for the last 5 laps of this Grand Prix in Bahrain. So Roman's Republic got a nice restart there. And we got the likes of Big Boy, Misselli, Jai Hu and Culliver going toe to toe into turn 1. I think someone's gone off actually. Unless they've all got through turn 1 nicely. And they have done. So Roman's Republic is still in the lead, although we've got a battle for 5th place between Culliver and Jai Hu. Culliver going to the outside. There's Misselli to the inside of the Alfa Romeo of Mauricio. And Misselli gets his Mercedes up into 3rd place. So Misselli's got 2 more drivers to get through before he needs to open up a 5-second margin if he's going to take the race victory tonight. So Misselli banging wheels with the Alfa Romeo of Jaco Nagel. He goes to the outside as he enters turn 9 and 10. Misselli doesn't quite do it there. He'll be able to do the switchback on the Alfa Romeo and he's through. So Misselli gets up into 2nd position. And the only man standing in his way is Roman's Republic. So they enter turn 12. And Misselli now within a second of Roman's Republic. Someone's gone off in sector 3. That's Mauricio. Oh, the man who was in 3rd place on the restart has spun round. So his chances of a podium finish have deteriorated. He'll still get some points at the end of this race, but it's not quite where he wanted to be by the checkered flag. So Misselli right on the tail of Roman's Republic as they start lap 26. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. So Misselli may decide to wait until the DRS has been enabled before he makes his move. Big Boy losing out to Red Dog almost there. Red Dog trying to get through. We've got Robbo also alongside. Oh, there was nearly contact there between the AlphaTauri and the Mercedes. Big Boy runs out wide at turn 4. That may open the door for Red Dog to get alongside. Red Dog gets through, does he? Yes, he does. So the Alpine runs wide, nearly makes contact with the Mercedes. So Red Dog gets up into 6th place. Calvert trying to make his move on Jaihu for 4th place on the road. He has that time penalty, remember, a bit of contact there between the McLaren, and the Williams. And Maselli's through past Romans Republic. So Romans Republic has let Maselli go. He just needs to stay within 5 seconds of him, and the race victory will be his. But Maselli's on much fresher tyres than the Haas, so it's Maselli's race to lose at this point now. So the DRS not enabled yet. Maselli crucially over 1 second in front, so he's out of DRS range. Maselli posting a new fastest lap, so that'll be another championship point going his way. As it stands, he'll be leading the championship by the end of tonight. Calvert trying to make a move on Jaihu as they go into turn 1 side by side. Calvert will have the high go around the outside. Jaihu covers his line, but Calvert will be back for more here. DRS has been enabled. Calvert may be able to get into the slipstream and pull alongside the Williams as they go into turn 4. Calvert to the inside. Jaihu leaves him enough space. Mauricio gets penalised for speeding, and he's calling it a day as well. So Mauricio out of the race with 3 laps remaining. He may still be classified in 11th because he's completed enough laps, but his race is over anyhow. Maselli's gap over Romans Republic is currently 2.4 seconds. Jaihu fending off the McLaren of Calvert. He's got the DRS because he's within a second of Yakanagel. So we've got 10 drivers still running in this now. Dean Phelan, the last of those in 10th place, whose car is controlled by the AI. Sorry, I got muddled up on my words there. Calvert going side by side with Jaihu now as they go into the last couple of corners. Now Calvert will have DRS on the start-finish straight as he gets past the McLaren. He's through and up into 4th place on the road. So that's a good move there, but he's got a time penalty of, I believe, 5 seconds. No, it's 3 seconds. So he needs to pull out a 3-second margin over the guys behind. He needs to ideally get past Yakanagel as soon as he can, though. We've got 2 laps remaining, so he needs to get his skates on if he's to come away with a good haul of points here tonight. Thought about a move there on the Alfa Romeo. Can't quite do it into turn 4, but will he decide to have a go into turn 7 or 8? Not there. He's all over the back of the Alfa Romeo right now, so into the slipstream is the McLaren. Can he get alongside the Alfa Romeo as they go into turn 11? Calvert diving to the inside. Brilliant move from the McLaren. Gets off into 3rd position. Very well done. Now he needs to pull out a margin. I doubt he'll catch Romans Republic. He's not going to finish ahead of him anyway, so he just needs to bridge out that margin. But the only trouble he's going to have is being under threat of the DRS on the start-finish straight. So he needs to pull away from these guys as quick as he can Calvert, if he's to go to the podium. We've just seen a move there from Jaihu, pulls alongside Red Dog to get up into 5th place. And he's done it there. So Red Dog down to 6th, with Big Boy behind him in 7th position. We're now on to the last lap of this race. Calvert holding off the Alfa Romeo behind him. Oh, bit of contact there between the Williams and the AlphaTauri. Big Boy gets through. Big Boy in the Alpine ahead of the AlphaTauri. And Big Boy has moved up into 6th place. Go back to the race leader. Maselli's pulled out a 5-second margin. So he needs to keep it like that between now and the checker flag. His tyres are 5 laps old though. Romans Republic's mediums are 14 laps old. So this is touch and go in terms of who gets the race victory. Maselli continues to extend the gap as he goes through turns 9 and 10. Romans Republic, as it stands, would not be taking the race victory, but he would get 2nd place from this one. So Maselli coming through turns 12 and 13 for the last time. Takes it steady through there. I think he's got a comfortable margin now over Romans Republic. So here's Maselli on his final lap. He started the race 11th on the grid through the chaos including 4 safety car periods. He's going to come away with maximum points in Bahrain. Miseli crosses the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix in Sakhir. He takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Even with the time penalty applied, Rose Republic finishes second. Yakanagel will go to the podium for Alfa Romeo. Jaihu will be 4th. Calvert drops to 5th place. We'll run down the rest of the results as well because they were all so close behind after that late safety car period. Miseli, rightfully so, gets the driver of the day. Some excellent drivers as well from Yakanagel as well. But Miseli picks up his 3rd win in the CDR, his 1st of the season, which confirms his status as championship leader after 2 rounds of Season 2. So your final race result then, Faze Miseli is the race winner. I had a Rose Republic in second, then Yakanagel had a Jaihu, Calvert, a brilliant 5th for him, even with the time penalty. Red Dog 6th, Robbo 7th, King of the Hills 8th, Big Boy 9th, Dean Phelan 10th, Richo classified in 11th, even though he didn't make the checkered flag. Grimjaw crashed out. What would it have been for him had it not been for that? Avalanche also retired, Ruin did likewise, Bruges and Jeremy came together on the start-finish straight. Michael also crashed out, Uncle Cells and Droftis also came together on the back straight. That contributed to the first safety car period. So Miseli bagging maximum points. He moves into the lead of the standings. He has 46 points, with Mystic Joker the next one behind him in the standings. So he's a long way ahead of the rest of the packs. So I think he's got a 20-point lead going into the next round of the championship, which will be in Montreal, Canada, in a week's time on the 20th of August, 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the CDR returns.